Hello and welcome to the Play Android Game Reviews. Daniel here, and today I'll be playing for you the arcade game Slime and Bubbles by Wicked Media Apps. And this is starting screen already here. And we have the logo Slime and Bubbles with bubbles popping up from around everywhere. And those, I don't know, kind of like Pac-Man-y things with the razor teeth at the sides, and our main protagonist, the slime, at the top of the eye. And yeah, we have different menu options here. We have a play button, a share button, a rate button, guide, and a shop. And shop says buy coins, unlock planets, remove ads. And we have, of course, a options menu. Let's just look at this real quick. And here we can turn off music and sounds, we can reset the game, and we can again go into the shop to buy stuff. Let's just leave it at that right here, and let's just look at the shop real quick. And it's loading, it's making bubbles. And here we have the shop, and we can either unlock the full game for $1, and we get more planets, more, well, maps here, and all the ads are gone, and we can buy a bunch of coins for a small fee here. But let's go back, and I'll tell you about the coins later on, what they are for. Here are some ads. You see why there's an ad-free version here, because the ads come up randomly, and some people might want to get rid of them. Okay, so let's look at the guide. Here, quite extensive explanation of the things in the game and most important things you need to know. So we can upgrade our slime using those coins. We can jump on bubbles. We can read the small signs on the maps. And this is a new one for me here, and I'm gonna read it out loud. A lot of maps contain small signs, which very often gives you hints about how to solve the current map. Do not underestimate the power of free information, and then read the tips before each map starts. And this is one thing this game really cares about, is getting the player, well, to know what's to do in the map. And this is one thing I noticed before while testing. It's always has a lot of tips coming up, and it's really appreciated here because, well, sometimes you really don't know what to do, and those tips are always helpful. So let's just see how the game plays here. And it makes bubbles again. And here we have our level map, and we are in the forest world right now, Forestian. And let's just hop into the first level and look at the game. And, well, another ad coming up. And here we are, first level. And this is the first tip. Are you stuck on a map? Falling into a narrow place often leaves you with no way to get up. Stand completely still for 3 seconds, and a white flag will appear in the lower right corner, which you can touch to commit suicide. So, yeah, you gotta kill yourself if you're stuck. So level 1. Okay, here we have all the signs. Your name's Slime, so we are the slimy guy down there on the left side. And the middle, it says capture your enemies with bubbles and jump into them to kill them. So our enemies are those snails you see all around. Let's just try to get one of them and encase it in slime and get this top one. And you see they lose gold nuggets if you hit them. And there's a rocket coming because I'm not moving fast enough. And, well, it hit me and blew me to pieces. This isn't supposed to happen. Your luck ran out. Let's try this again. It's talking and playing again. Not very not my thing here. And here I have another tip. You can fill up all your skills completely by sliding from left to right in the green meters area. And this is one of the key features of the game. You can basically increase or upgrade your slime here with running speed, bubble rate, bubble speed, and bubble distance. And this is what those coins are for, because it uses up those coins if you want to increase your skills here. So yeah, let's just play along a bit, and I'm gonna talk about the graphics here. And you see it's 2D and it's nicely animated. Everything moves pretty nicely here, and it's a unique style, I'd say. And well, it's HD here. What I kind of found interesting though was that I don't think all the styles in the game really blend in very well together. I mean, you have this kind of semi-real background and these textured surfaces here, and then you have like this bland slime or your opponents, and it doesn't really mesh well. And so it kind of seems a bit inconsistent, but still looks nice. Still has its own charm with this, all the animations going on and stuff like this. So yeah, this is about the graphics of the game. And sometimes I feel like in terms of the menus, they could use some rework, because sometimes there's just so much information on the screen. You need to take a second to take it all in before you actually understand what's going on. And this could use some I don't know, rearranging or cleanup here, as well as some of the styles of the menus. They look kind of the same thing going on in the game. They don't look like they really fit into the game. Here you have those gray buttons, and I feel more reminded of a kind of sci-fi game or kind of technical game more than a game about slime and bubbles. So yeah, but still the graphics work. We didn't encounter any kind of lag or slowdown or something like this. So all pretty nice from a technical standpoint here. And here's our next tip: jumping on bubbles a little hard. Here's the trick: you need to get a little up in the air before moving in over the bubble. Otherwise, you'll break it. Also remember keeping that jump button pressed while jumping the bubbles. This is one of the key things here. I really had to do a few times. Hold the jump button to not burst the bubbles. And here we have more snails. And let's just get rid of them real quick. And we have bees as well up top. You see here. And here it says on the sign, watch out for the bees. They shoot out little baby bees. This is one thing that really got me while testing those baby bees. I thought I could fight them, but you can't. They just, kill you. And they're super fast, and you hardly can, evade them here. And let's just up my running speed a bit, because I'm pretty slow, and here you see I'm already much faster. And which is quite nice. Okay, I killed all the enemies. And if you, when you kill all the enemies, the level is basically completed, so you need to kill them. You can just avoid them and wait for it to end. So yeah, let's talk about sound a bit. I mean, you heard already in the main menu, there's music going on, and different music actually for the shop as well. There's, strangely enough, no music in the game while playing, but there are environmental sounds. And here in the forest, it's especially creepy because there are foxes screaming and stuff like this. And it's like a bit, what was that? And kind of, really creepy sounds here. And you have nice indicator sounds for jumping, for bursting bubbles and stuff like this. And I think in terms of sounds, it really does great, this game here. Still, the thing with the no music in the game is kind of strange. But, I mean, it's basically the style of the game. So I think I'm good with that. And I really like the option or the possibility to turn off sounds, which is not always a given feature in games. And yeah, let's talk about coming from sounds to the controls here. You see I have those buttons at the bottom, shoot, jump, and left and right. And I think, yeah, this game needs some kind of, well, UI controls, touch controls, but I think it could be solved more elegantly. I played games before that had basically the same features, but they really got rid of most of the buttons in the game, or visible buttons in the game, and they just had like tap here to go right, and it doesn't matter where you tap, just slide right or something like this, and the protagonist moves in the right direction. So yeah, it could be a bit better. Sometimes it's a bit, well, frustrating actually playing with this. It takes some time to get used to it. It has a slight learning curve here, but if you played it a bit, you get used to the controls, and they're precise and they work really well for what they're intended to do. And yeah, let's just hop in real quick and talk a bit about originality. And on the games site in the Google Play Store, the developers already mentioned that this game is inspired by Bobble, I'm sorry. And yeah, this is basically, well, a successor, if you will. And you have this basic kind of jump and run gameplay style with those things you have to battle against, but you also have this upgrade system here, which is quite new, and I really like this, and it's a unique setting and gives this whole thing a unique gameplay style, which you don't see in very much games like it, especially arcade games. And this really adds to the replay value of the game, because you get really a lot of content and a lot of possibilities to, well, customize basically your game here. And with the amount of levels in the game, you can, well, you are pretty much occupied for a long time, because I think there are up to 50 levels in the game, as I remember correctly, and this is quite a lot, and you have to go through all of them, and they scale in difficulty, and they are all different, and you have different settings as well, not only here the forest, but deserts and stuff as well, I think. So yeah, as it is quite high value of replay value, I'm sorry. And with the upgrade system and with the stuff you can do here, it's quite intensive and yeah, fun to play actually. And you might see yourself coming back to the game and play it again and again. And this is basically all there is to show about the game. If you want to read the in-depth review, head right over to playandroid.com. You'll find a link to the article in the video description as always, as well as the link to the Google Play Store where you can download Slime and Bubbles for free. And I hope you liked this video. I hope you'll tune in next time. Until then, I say goodbye.